So hello learners, this is Priyadarshi Shubhakant and once again I welcome all of you to my sessions on CNC milling machine. And today we will be having the discussions regarding the specification of a CNC milling machines. So guys, generally how do you specify a mobile? Now generally by its screen size, by its memory, by the megapixel of camera it is having. So similar way, how to specify a CNC milling machines we'll be discussing in today's session. And after attending today's session, you all will be able to specify a CNC machine very easily, particularly CNC milling machine. So let us start with today's session. The first one, the slide is already on the screen as you can see over here. So the first specification that generally we talk about is the manufacturer name. So generally manufacturer name means the company who is making this particular CNC machine. So some of the top rated companies, those who are manufacturing the CNC machine in the world, I am going to show those names so you can have a look on them. So they are DMG Mori, Spinner is there, Stama is there, Moriseki is there, Okuma is there, then Yamazaki Majak is there, Makino is there, Toyota is there, Mag is there, Hardinge is there, and Fidia is there, and Danobot is there, as well as Haas is also there. So these are some of the top rated manufacturer of CNC machines. Then moving on to the next one, same thing we'll be discussing regarding the manufacturer only, but this time it will be regarding the Indian manufacturer. So the Indian company, those who are manufacturing the CNC milling machines are, like we can say BFW, ACE Micromatic, LMW, Jyoti, Mac Power, Cosmos. So these are some of the important companies, those who are manufacturing CNC milling machines in India. So that was all regarding the manufacturers. So the second one we can get it, that is the model name. And here what happens in this model name, now generally a company doesn't manufacture one single milling machine. They will manufacture varieties of CNC milling machines, and as per their model number, the machines will also vary. So similarly, as you can see on this slide, there are varieties of CNC milling machines of different model number, but these are all of a single company, that is DMG Mori. So here also model number plays a very vital role in the specification of CNC milling machine. So that was the second specification. Moving on to the third one, you can get it like controller, the most important part. And here what happens, now you can see some of the top rated controllers are available in the world nowadays. The first one you can get it Sinumeric, Fanuc, Hedonine, Mitsubishi, Haas, Majak. So these are the different types of controller available nowadays in the market. So regarding these things we'll be having a discussions in upcoming sessions, but for today you know that these are some of the company, the reputed companies, those who manufacture the controller. And controller means what? Basically the motor drives, the servo motors and other electrical equipments related to these things. So that was the third specification of CNC milling machine, that was regarding controller. Then moving on to the fourth one, we can get it, that is XYZ axis movement. So axis movement means what happen in one axis, how much maximum movement we can do, because it is very important we should know, and as per that the length of a profile we are going to machine it, it can be decided whether it is possible or not. If the length of the profile is more than the length of the axis movement, then it is not possible. So for that purpose we should be clear about the axis movement of XYZ in millimeter properly regarding the particular machine. We should have idea regarding these things also. Moving on to the next, fifth specification of CNC milling machine. Here we can get it, that is the table size. So here table size, how it plays a very vital role. Now this is the table size, that is the length and width of the job that can be held on this particular machine. If the table size is smaller than the job size, then we cannot load the job on the machine. So always the job size should be smaller than the table size. So for that purpose we should always have an idea regarding the table size. Mostly it is the length and the width of the table. Then moving on to the next one. Next again it is XYZ, but here it is the travel speed. So travel speed means it is the feed rate, means per minute at what speed it advances in the axis. Because minimum doesn't matter, but the maximum feed rate always matter. As much as the feed rate will be high in a machine, the cycle time will be that much less. So for that purpose we should also know what is the maximum feed rate available in a CNC milling machines. So more the higher rate, the faster the machining process. So moving on to the next one, the seventh one. So here the specification we can get it, that is the spindle speed. Similar way we should be also aware about what is the maximum RPM of the spindle, or at what maximum RPM the spindle can rotate. It also plays a very vital role. Then moving on to the next one. Next one is your spindle nose type. Means generally in the spindle we should know which type of nose tapper is there, whether it is a British tapper, ISO tapper, and if it is that, what is the angle, whether it's 40 degree or something like that. So for that purpose we should be always aware about the spindle nose tapper, so that accordingly we have to use the arbor, and on the arbor we have to mount the cutter. So for that purpose always we should be having the idea regarding what is the spindle nose tapper of a CNC milling machine. That's a very important specification of CNC milling machines. That was the 8th one. Moving on to the next one, the 9th one. You can see it, that is the tool magazine station. So in this tool magazine system, what happens now, what is the maximum number of tool that can be put together? So that is the tool magazine stations, and it is of which type also. Sometimes you'll find it is drum type or it is chain type. So drum type, generally if the requirement of tool is less than 30 numbers, then we can go for drum type arrangement. If our tool requirement is more than 30 numbers, like 60, 80, 120, or even if more than that, then we can go for chain type tool magazine stations. So here what happens, a machine is having which type of tool magazine stations, and what is the maximum number of tools that can be put in that one, we should be also aware about it. That is the specification of CNC milling machine, 9th one. Then moving to the 10th one. So here you can get it, that is the machine dimension. We also should know regarding the machine dimension, and it plays a very vital role at the layout time. Means generally when we are going to purchase a new machine and we need to set up in our company, at that time we have to plan accordingly. So for that purpose the dimensions are very essential. So for that purpose the machine dimension should be known to us. It plays a very vital role at the time of purchase of a machine, as told earlier. So the next one, this is the last one but not the least one, let me tell you, that is the gross weight of the machine. So gross weight of the machine means generally what is the total weight of the machine. So why we should know that one? Now when we are going to lift the machine from one place to other place, or we are transporting it, so we can arrange the crane or the load carrying machines accordingly. So for that purpose the gross weight of the machine should be known. So these were some of the important specifications of CNC milling machines. Except these, there are other specifications, but these are the common and mostly used specifications of a CNC milling machines. So that was all from today's sessions, and in upcoming sessions we'll be having the discussions regarding the mechanism of a CNC milling machine, how it works and how it performs its tasks and how it gets the instruction. On all these things we'll be discussing in upcoming sessions, so please don't miss that. And for today, that was all regarding the specifications of CNC milling machine. Have a good day. Thank you all.